What's up, gamers? It's Gaming Thunder, and today we're going over another big collection in my collection. And what are we going to be talking about? Well, if you guessed by the thumbnail, that and the biggest part of my toy collection, we're going to be talking about Bakugan. And which one are we talking about? I'm talking about all the Bakugan I got until Gen 3. And so let's look. Bakugan. Remember those times when it was developed by Spin Master, where you have a little marble that you roll out onto a card and it evolves into a big monster? But some come in sharks, some dragons, some scorpions, some triceratops, and all sorts of stuff. And Bakugan has kept evolving, and now that Gen 2 is come and gone, it's time to look at all the Bakugan I've collected for all these years. For the OG Bakugan in my collection, we have Dragonoid Colossus and Pyrus Blitz Dragonoid, and the battle gear called the Axitor from the Bakugan Gundalian Invaders. And of course, we have a Deca Bakugan, we have a Aquas and Neo Dragonoid, and we have a Pyrus Hyper Dragonoid from Bakugan New Vestroia. Still, honestly, is my favorite series of Bakugan. Now let's move on to the other Bakugan. We'll be going over all these Bakugan for each of the game's gens, starting with part 1 on Bakugan Battle Planet. Starting off with the first Bakugan series in the Bakugan reboot, Bakugan Battle Planet, where it reintroduced Bakugan and the whole series. I've collected plenty Bakugan in the series, where they had the core Bakugan and the Ultra Bakugan, which have extra boosted features like higher stats and much better looking designs. So let's get to look with each attribute. Starting off with the Pyrus attribute, we have Dragonoid Core, we got Dragonoid Ultra, Syndius Ultra, Zentor Ultra, and Pyrus Fangzor. But Pyrus Faction's always been my favorite, and it's really been growing on me for the last few years. So let's look at the other attribute. For the small but humble collection for Ventus Bakugan, we have Ventus Trox and Ventus Mantinoid. For Aquas, we have Hydrus, Hydrus Ultra, and Aquas Syndius, and Aquas Tertonium. Aquas is part of the Water faction, and it was really good that I can find mostly the Ultra Bakugan, and you may have seen some of these I unboxed in an episode of Game & Thunder Toys in the past. And Aquas, it's definitely a really good element to have. For another small collection, we have the Chaos Bakugan, we got Pegatrix, and Chaos Hydronoid. For Darkest, we have Halcor, we have Cloptor, and Syndius Ultra. And Darkness is definitely one of another good elements to have in this. Now we're moving on to the last one, which is Orlis. The final element is called Orlis, a new faction that was replaced for Subterra, or known as the Golden Bakugan. And for the Golden Bakugan, aka Orlis, we have Maxitor, we have Trox Ultra, we have Trino, and we have Serpentes. These games right here, they're all shiny and perfect, and the cool thing about it, they have higher levels than usually other kind of Bakugan they have. To wrap up Battle Planet, we have a deluxe Bakugan figure picked up from Target. I got the Dragonoid one, and which came with an exclusive card called Dragos Fury. And look how cool that is, and I definitely say this was worth the pick. I took it out of the plastic and everything, and I still use the cardboard here, and it makes a really good stand for Drago. One way, that way, you can show off all your Dragonoid lights. Bakugan Battle Planet did so well with the ratings and the toys developments that they renewed for another season of Bakugan called Bakugan Armored Alliance, which introduced some new characters and new Bakugan here with a brand new gimmick called Bakugear, which gives you an ultra edge and extra toy designs, and will bring your battle spirits and your whole battle experience to the whole next level, and also for the next gimmick in there called Faction Fusion, where it combines two Bakugan into one massive abomination. I was able to pick up a handful of Bakugan with Bakugear, and it looks totally sick. We have Pyrus Ultra Dragonoid, and we have a Pyrus Ultra Trox, and we have a Core Dragonoid, and we have a Core Nilius, all with Bakugear. But Bakugear will always give you an altered advantage, and Armored Alliance is still one of my favorites in the new Bakugan gen. For Pyrus Bakugans, we have Pyrus Dragonoid X Trenorus and Dragonoid X Auxilitor, which is exclusive to a very special Bakugan that I'll be showing later. For the Ventus Bakugan, we have Trox and Trox S Nobilius. For Aquas, we have Hydrus, Hydrus X Bactrix, and Hydrus X Trino, and Fangzor X Mantinoid. For Chaos, we have Pegatrix and Centipod. For Darkest, we have Pegatrix, we have Howlcore X Ramparian, and we have Howlcore X Serpentines. And finally, for Armored Alliance, for Bakugan, we have an amazing Dragonoid Infinity, which has these unique holes in here where you can place Bakugan in there to give them the extra boost. And we also have a unique little feature to put Dragonoid X Auxilitor in and to get ready for battle. Bakugan continue to evolve in all sorts of ways, which had them develop these cosplay couples. Look how cute they are. They have many different varieties in there, but these four were the ones that are in my collection, as we know. I mean, we all know which one is my favorite. Armored Alliance was so good that it moved on to the third season of the franchise, Bakugan Geogan Risings. We're introduced some new friends and new foes for our protagonists, and a lot of new gimmicks like the Geogan. And a little trap-based Bakugan that you summon in as an extra support, and as a substitution for Bakugan, and a little big surprise for your enemies. For Pyrus, we have Dragonoid, Dragonoid Ultra, Sharktart Ultra, and for Rascal. For Ventus, we have Harperion and Falcron. For Aquas, we have Sharktart and Krakenoid. For Chaos, we have Fenica, we have Pintator, and Dragonoid. For Darkest, we have Pintator, Oxidox, and Ninjaton. And lastly, for Orlus, we have Spartillion and Dragonoid. We also have a handful of Geogan. We have a Pyrus Surturin, and a Darkness Mutasec, and Aqua's Viperagon, a Ventus Talon, a Orlus Titan King, and we got an Archelion sitting right here, and sitting on top of him is Big Boy Archelion, the Bakugan Deca version. And I call it a Decagon. You guys might remember these guys when I unboxed an episode of Game & Thunder Toys. We have Geoforged Dragonoid and Ultimate Velok, and two Bakugan fused with Geogan themselves. And I still say that Dragonoid has definitely beefed up his improvements during the whole battle, but Ultimate Velok, he's still pretty. We also have two inbox Bakugan that we have right here. We have an inbox Diamond Velok and an inbox Energy Dragonoid. I kept these two in the box and they're pretty good on condition here. I might as well just keep them in the box because they become very rare every so often. And judging by the fact that Gen 2 is finally gone, yep, these things are a gold mine. Once again, Bakugan did so great with the ratings and the toy sales, it moved on to the fourth season of the franchise, Bakugan Evolutions, where it introduced some new Bakugan and new stages of evolutions, and which induced the gimmick where you're able to introduce new Bakugan into new stages of forms called evolutions, and even unleashed some little surprises called the Nanogun. Nanogun were mostly these tiny little Bakugan that pop out of the big Bakugan that you can use as Bakugear. Or it's more called Nano Gear, that's aligning Nanogun with your actual Bakugan. So yeah, I never really gotten into using these. They do make pretty good decorations though. Except that one. For Pyrus, we have Platinum Dragonoid, we have Dragonoid Neo, but we have a Pyrus Hydrus, and a Pyrus Sectoid, and a Platinum Pyrus Colossal. For Ventus, we both have Trox's Evolutions, and we have a Ventus Nilius. For Aquas, we have an Ultra Dimorq, and Warrior Whale. For Chaos, we have Gilator Ultra, and just him, because I didn't get many more Chaos after the series. For Darkest, we have a Platinum Nilius, a Genesis Nilius, and a Platinum Darkest Dragonoid, and a Darkest Centinoid. For Orlus, we have Leonidas, we have a Orlus Blitzfox, and a Orlus Genesis Feral. We do have one Geogan in the collection for evolutions. It's a Ventus and Archelion. It was never really actually used in the anime. I just wanted to point that out that we had this as part of the Evolutions collection. Of course, you guys remember Genesis Dragonoid and Genesis Wrath from the Genesis collection we unboxed in Game & Thunder Toys. They even look like plain now, but when you flick of a switch, they glow! We also have two inbox Bakugan right here for evolutions. We have a Diamond Neotrox and the one-of-a-kind Evo Rare Prisma Dragonoid. This baby is solely rare. Look how cool that is. Yeah, I definitely say I'm an ultimate brawler with these. Gen 2 finally came to its end with the final release of Season 5 Bakugan Legends, where it introduced all the gimmicks from the past series and all familiar fames and foes, all people big and small, for one last brawl. The sales for Bakugan started to die out in my area, but I managed to collect myself a Pyrus Dragonoid Neo, a Pyrus Cycloid, and Pyrus Nilius, and Pyrus Archelion Geogon. Look how cool he is compared to the old one. For Aquas, we have a Ultra Hydrus with Baku Gear, and we have an Energy Hydrus. For Chaos, we have a Chaos Energy Pegatrix, a Chaos Cyrus, and a Chaos Cycloid. For Darkus, we have a Nilius. And lastly, for Orlis, we have Auxiliator and Hainage. The Bakutins I have are mostly for storage purposes. Like in this one, we use it for the gate cards and the character cards. And this one is mostly used to contain the new Gen Bakugan in there, which I won't get into because we're talking about Gen 2. So if you want to know about the Gen 3 Bakugan, the link to the video will be in my description. We also have a handful of Bakugan games. We have a loose copy of Bakugan Battle Brawlers for DS. We have Bakugan Battle Brawlers Battle Trainer for DS. We have Bakugan Defenders of the Core new in box for Nintendo DS. And of course the infamous Bakugan Champions of Astroia game, where they came with an exclusive Bakugan. I enjoyed it. We even have some Bakugan Funko Pops. We have Dan Kuso, Dragonoid, and we have Runo Misaki, and Antique Rare. Some Bakugan card packs that I keep in the box, and right next to them are the exclusive Geoforged Dragonoid and Ultimate Valak Gate card. My Bakugan Armored Alliance Battle League Coliseum is where I usually hold all of my Bakugan here, so that way I have them all in an area where you can actually see and display. My Bakugan Evolutions Battle Evo Arena, which is what I primarily use for actual brawling, so whenever the boys come over and they want to brawl, I'm gonna teach them a lesson on who the best brawler here. With Bakugan Gen 2 finally coming to a closing, people are wondering, what are you going to do with your new Bakugan? I'm just going to say this for sure. Bakugan is still always going to be part of my personality. And yeah, Gen 2 will always be one of my favorites. And I'll keep collecting Bakugan. Just maybe not as much as I used to as soon as I get more space. But I know for sure Bakugan, it will forever be in my heart and also be in the hearts of all sorts of brawlers out there. And whenever I get in the habit of getting ready for another brawl, I'll be ready to Bakugan battle. So you guys I want to stick around to see if I get any more Bakugan. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this Bakugan collection video. It was really fun to show off all the Bakugan I showed off. And I really hope you guys might be inspired to get some Bakugan of your own. So anyway guys, if you got any Bakugan, let me know in the comments what you got. And so anyway guys, be sure to subscribe to Mikeinoid, Biddy's Game Videos, from Ben the Potato to Spidey Gaming. Comment, like, subscribe, join my Discord, follow my Instagram, and I'll see you guys later with more future Bakugan. And this is Game of Thunder, signing out. Bye. Thunder. It's you and me, partner. We're gonna be ready to Bakugan battle.